Hello everybody, this is Michelle Fox and welcome back to The Simple Quilter. Welcome to 2023. I want to thank you all for returning as my viewers. I certainly had a great Christmas break and that 2 weeks off was wonderful. I got to spend time with family. I got to spend time planning for this upcoming year for videoing, and I did get to do quite a bit of sewing. Now for 2023, I do have some new things that I will be telling you about in my future videos, but there is one thing I do want to continue, and that is the UFO challenge. And the reason I want to continue the UFO challenge is because it worked for me. I did get quite a few things done. I got 7 quilts made, 2 wall hangings, 3 table runners, and the quilted checkerboard game. Now those were all on my UFO list and I got all those done. Now I did make a list of all the things, pretty much all the things that I could remember that I got completed that really weren't on my UFO list, but things that I had started just recently and finished. Now, as I make videos, I create a lot of UFOs, so I really do need to stay on top of those. I want to show you the 2 things. Okay, first of all, let's go to my list. Here was my list. This list of 4 items, I had Over the Hill and Through the Woods. I needed to put the binding and the label on that. I finished that. I'll be showing you that. I finished the top for the Irish chain with a spin. I've shown you that already. I machine quilted the spool hot pad or table topper, and I'm going to show you the quilt spool table runner that I machine quilted and finished. So this list is complete, and so let me show you the couple of things that I finished. Now here is the table runner. That turned out really nicely. You know, this was interesting. On this one I did 1/2 inch straight line quilting, and I really like the 1/4 of an inch. The 1/2 inch and the 1/4 inch create such different textures. I do have to say that the 1/4 of an inch is really probably my favorite. The 1/2 inch turned out nice and looks nice. But I think I do prefer the 1/4 of an inch. It takes quite a bit more time, but let me see if I can show you the difference in those 2. Okay, so here's the table topper I did with the 1/4 of an inch, and here is the table runner, and it really does make quite a bit of difference. And one difference that it makes that I really like is it makes the table runner or the quilted piece just lay flatter. Now they're both laying pretty flat, but this gives it a little bit more stiffness. But I did want to just show you the difference in those 2. But I do really like the straight line quilting. Okay, now here you can see I finished the Over the Hill and Through the Woods. And again, the embroidery was done by my friend Nancy. And then I did the machine piecing, and we made 2 of those. Now we actually started that in 2013, and the reason I know that is because she had made a label for both of our quilts, and it was dated 2013. So it just goes to show you how important those labels are. And the label is on. And that quilt is finished. Now I thought it would be fun to show you just what my stack of UFOs looks like. Now that I finished this year. Now it doesn't look like a huge stack, but my checkerboard, my quilted checkerboard game is out in the camper as well as the camping quilt, and I think I gave away 5 of those projects with, let's see, 3 or 4 of them being quilts. So anyway, the UFO challenge will continue. Now, I did change the format up a little bit of my UFO list, and I'm going to give you a close-up so you can see that new format. Okay, so this is my old format. I had 3 pages, quilts that need a binding, my UFO quilt list for quilts that needed to be quilting, and I had a list for quilts that needed to be pieced. But I changed that up and I just put it into one document, and I've listed my quilts here. Now these are my small projects, and then back here are my larger projects, which are all quilts. And what I've done is I just put, instead of having an individual page for each of the needed to be pieced, needed to be quilted, whatever, I listed it all out so I could see it at a glance. And so I put the date, I started the quilter, the date that it was assigned, whether it needed to finish being pieced, whether it needed to be quilted, does it need a binding, and a label, and then the date that it's completed. Now what I'll do as I work on these, I'll enter the dates onto this page and I'll transfer them to my computer, but I'll keep them here so I can keep track of them as I finish them and show you as I go along, and then I'll leave it on my computer as, you know, kind of a record of what I've done over the past few years with my quilting. So that's my new format. Now this is very easy to do. I just did this in Google Docs. You can also do this very easily if you have Microsoft Word. But anyway, that's the new things there. Now I have a new, okay, so I finished all of these, woohoo! And I have a new small list. Now, I'm not going to assign a date of completion to these. I'm going to put this up on my cabinet, and I am going to try to work on these a little bit each month. And the things that I want to do, there are 4 things that I want to do, and I'll show you those things. Now, the first thing I want to work on is I want to get this quilted, and it's ready, it's basted, it's ready to be quilted, and then I will put the binding on that. So that's on my list. I want to get this quilted, and I haven't quite decided. I think I want to, this is my autumn pinwheel squares and pinwheels and squares, and I want to machine quilt this. I'm thinking about machine quilting this myself. So I want to get this project done. And do you remember the quilt, the Stars and Stripes quilt that I started? And I want to finish that top. I'd like to get the whole quilt finished by the end of the year. We'll see. And then of course my surprise package quilt on the back. As you can see, I don't know if you noticed, I've gotten 3 full blocks done. I have almost a 4th one done here, but I hope to finish that top in the very near future. Okay, so what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to continue working on your UFOs with me. Post them on Facebook if you'd like, or simply tell me about them in the comments below. If you want to provide a list of what you want to work on over the next few months, please put that in the comments below. This video, this monthly video, is all about just supporting each other, helping to hold us accountable to work a little bit on our UFOs. Please don't let it stress you out. That's definitely not the point of this, and I'm going to try hard not to let it stress me out this year. But just try to work on things as we go. Okay, so post your comments below. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Please share with a friend. And as always, leave a comment. I love to get the comments and try to reply to each and every one. So until next time, have fun quilting.